Everybody, this is Adam Bomb with Adam Bomb Breaks. We're going to do a new segment here. It's going to be a new series. Come check it out. Let's go. I'm going to rip some cards while I talk about it because it's more fun that way. And, you know, you can't be a break channel if you're not actually breaking cards, right? So, everybody likes Julio Rodriguez. Everybody likes to chase these short prints. They're in this box. There's some odds here on the side. We all know about the odds. We all look at them. We all go, can I get something out of this? And is it worth anything? You know, what are the print runs? Well, I did a video a while back, kind of talking about, there's your big old relic card, about Series 1, what's in it, things like that. But I never really came back with what I really wanted to do. I have some skills as an engineer that I love to crunch numbers. It just kind of happens that way. And that's pretty cool. And never got to really do that with Series 1. So what I've done here is I figured out what all the numbers are for each. You know, I got pack odds off everything I possibly could. And then we did some math, some assumptions in some cases, to figure out how many boxes were produced of everything. Now that I know the boxes produced, I can go a little deeper than that. I can say, okay, with the boxes produced, how many of this are there? How many, you know, what's my chances, or, you know, where has the best chances for getting Mother's Day? Where has the best chances for getting, say, a Reverence card, if you're looking for that? Spencer Strider, nice. And that's what this video is about. And we have a little presentation we'll go through after this. Will Myers, red, nice. Eloy. And that's what the video is all about. The video is about trying to figure out where the value is. Is it chasing the Julio Rodriguez? How hard is it to pull one? You know, some of us have pulled one. I've gotten lucky. Others have not. I sold mine. Others want to have one. So, there's Aaron Judge. So that's what this video is all about. This is a decent blaster box. Got a color card, O'Neal Cruz. Just give me a short print, and we'll call it a day. I think they're 1 in 50 in this, if I remember correctly. But if you're interested, we do have breaks of baseball. We break those on Wednesday. And we actually have one occasionally on Monday. Either via the Facebook page or also posted on eBay. So, information is always in the description. Also have a Patreon. Sometimes we rip these cards, twice a month actually, sometimes. And we give away all the cards that are included. And that's always fun. Just did one of those, and we'll be posting it soon. Ozzy Albies. But, you know, I gotta rip something here. Only took up a few minutes of your time. Plus, I got to explain kind of about what's about to go down. And you can always fast forward if you just wanted to get straight to that. You don't want to see me rip a pack of... Oh, that's cool. Manny Machado. Now, these can be autographed. And I think those are numbered at the time, but they're like 1 in 60 million. Your chance. Troutykins. All right, let's move these. I don't even have to move them. So now that we've gone through a pack, we've seen what it's like. It's like, oh, where's the Julio? Let's look at all the formats and everything. So here we go. So we're going to look at the following products: Jumbo Hobby Box, blaster hanger, blister retail. They're basically the same thing. Their pack odds are the same. It's just the number of packs. In a blister, you're going to get 2. In a retail box, I do believe you get 24. What we're missing, this vending box is new. Let's see if I can show it. Click over here. I don't know if it's going to show it. Maybe it shows it. Who knows? The vending box is new. The mega retail box, I assume they're going to come back out with that. It's been two or three series now that they've done it. And the complete sets. Complete sets really don't matter when you're talking about Julio. They don't have short prints in them. But if you're talking about base card count, yes, they do count. So let's go ahead and move to the next. I need to figure out how I wanted to do this. There we go. So here's all the pack odds. Yeah, you can see them. We've gone through these. Who knows? Everybody looks at them. And these are some of the ones we looked at. So the basis for the hobby and jumbo production hinges on the clear and also on the reverence sets. So clear is a hobby only, whereas reverence is going to be hobby and jumbo. Very important, because once you figure out how many hobby boxes there are, and you can figure out, what's the percentage of reverences in those hobby boxes, simple math lets you figure out how many is over in the jumbo. And once we do this, it'll make a little more sense. We start with gathering all the information for clear. We gather the odds, which is 1 in 2,225 packs. There's only 10 of each card, as well as there's only 100 in this subset. We find the total number of cards, multiply them all together, and this tells us that the number of hobby boxes, or the number that gives you the number of packs, and then you divide by the number of hobby packs in a hobby box, and that's going to give you 92,000 boxes. That's a lot. I didn't even think about how many cases that is. There's 12 boxes in a case, maybe 16 boxes in a case. You can do that math if you want to. With 24 packs per box, 14 cards per pack, because these are pack odds, this gives us a total of 31 million cards just from hobby boxes. Wow, that's a lot of cards. We knew they were producing a ton, but that's just simple math. 31 million cards just from hobby boxes. And if you want to figure out and say that every card is just produced once in that 31 million, you can figure out how many inserts there are, how many base cards, and then also how many of the other cards. So I didn't want to kind of delve down too deep into that stuff, because it would take a lot of figuring out, and you'd have to pull all the odds off the back. So now let's look at the reverence set. So we just figured out how many boxes of jumbo, 92,000. We need to use the same method for the jumbo, but this is a little backwards calculation. So we use all that to figure out new odds is 1 in 17,000. 1 in 17,000. I should have put a colon there. That's kind of confusing. It's a 57 card set, and we're going to look at the platinum because it's numbered to 5. The normal reverence, I don't know if they're numbered or not, but we went ahead and chose a platinum because it's only 5. So if we do the same calculation and use that there's this many boxes, we know that there's 92,000 boxes and change, and we say, okay, using this method and just back calculating, we're able to tell that there's 46% of all the platinum reverence cards are found in hobby. That means that there's 54% just for the jumbos. Okay, so now we know if you buy a jumbo box, you have about 8% chance better of pulling a platinum reverence. As you can see, there's one down here on the side, Derek Jeter to 5. Beautiful cards, very expensive cards. Using odds from only the jumbo though, now that we've said, okay, we know how many boxes there are because we know that there's 54% of all the reverence platinum black. Well, that tells us a finite number of cards of the platinum reverence. I can back calculate, and we figure out that there's 55,000 boxes produced, which gives us another 25 million cards based on there's 10 packs and 46 cards per pack. All right, now that you see all these words, this is kind of what it looks like in numbers. You see that the packs, the cards, total boxes produced a jumbo, And I did a few other things to kind of tell myself, hey, what is the percentage of the total number of Father's Day? It's a finite number of cards. You can't do it for everything when you're first calculating. But once you figure out how many boxes there are, now I can figure out, I know how many boxes there are. I know how many packs there are. Simple math lets you know with the pack odds, okay, how many of those packs, every 205 of those packs is going to have Father's Day in it. And that means that there's 16% of all the Father's Day cards are going to come out of Jumbo, just based on what Topps is producing. Same thing for Platinum, Diamond Greats, Reverence, we already said it was 54%. And then if you roll over to the Hobby Box, I did the same thing there. Interestingly here, the numbers went up on Father's Day, Platinum, and Diamond Greats. Platinum, which is 1-on-1. Try to use some of the ones that had, bigger odds and then smaller odds, kind of show the difference. But you can see in general, about 20% of all these hits in my mind. If I get a Father's Day Platinum Great, yeah, they're not autos and they're not mems, but holy cow, they're hits. And of course the clear cards there. So that gives us all this information. Okay, and through the magic of production, I changed shirts and it's dark outside, or getting light. So we had a little error in this, and also we had better than that. We had a revelation with the blasters. So I was looking at the blasters and I was thinking, I pulled out of that set, one of the commemorative bat helmets, and I was like, isn't there commemorative bat helmet autograph? And are there any numbered cards in it? And there are. And so we looked, and there are those commemorative batting helmet relic autos. And there's a platinum, there's a blue, there's red, there's a little bit of variation. And I said, okay, let's grab the platinum. It's a 1-of-1, and that's going to give us a definitive number of blasters produced. I was like, yeehaw, it's not a big guess for the blasters at least. So we use the same method as we did for the clear. Number of cards in the set is 42. Number of cards, there's only one for each card, and the odds to get that is 1 in 58,193. That's packs of produced blasters. Okay, so if you did all that math, it gives you 2.4 million packs, or just a shade under 350,000 boxes, or 31 million plus cards. Again, these are solid formats, or solid numbers for this format only. Once we get into the other retail, it's a little, there's some guesstimation going on. But now we've got 3 out of the 5 that we're looking at that are definitive. We don't have to guess. We don't have to say, well, maybe. We're assuming that they're not lying to us and their actuaries and their statisticians are correct. It is what it is at this point. We have some pretty good numbers. Now for the relationship across the other retail offerings. We had to use the Stars of the MLB Platinum set, which is to 5. And again, the guesstimation on the split, which actually, what is in the hangers and the retail packs. Again, Megas will change this up a little bit. It'll put a third cog in the wheel. But what I assume, and I kind of did a little bit of just finagling, it really doesn't change the numbers much. It probably just equalizes them, and we're going to get closer to this 100% that I'm shooting for. So the 3 splits here is the 29.09%, which is known. We're able to back calculate, okay, how many boxes and packs were made. Okay, if we have this many packs, how many Stars of the MLB Platinum to 1 are we going to get? All right, here you go. And, somebody might say, well, what about the auto that's in this? That's Platinum as well. Same odds. So that tells me it's pretty, they weren't silly. They didn't want to look foolish that, hey, there's 42 cards, one of ones, or 1 of 5s in this case. So anyways, so I also use 3 different numbers calculated for the parallel sets: Father's Day Platinum, just the base Platinum, Diamond Greats Platinum, and then I added up the entire percentage. I summed all that up. The reason I did that is because Father's Day is a lower odds. Platinum is more middle of the road. Diamond is one of those lottery tickets. And I wanted to make sure that those were coming up as 100% when I did all these based on packs and boxes produced. Kind of a check. So I'm not just kind of going blindly and saying, oh, I got one number. Now, again, I'm an engineer, took statistics. You want a better sample size than that. You don't want just one. So I kind of grew it out a little bit. I was really happy with these numbers in general. They were equal to 100% plus or minus 5, and that was really just Father's Day. And I've noticed that Father's Day numbers are a little wonky, but the rest of them were really in 2%, which is great. Again, these numbers are not as concrete as hobby. I wish they would put something in just the hangers or just the retail. That would give us a finite number, and then we could really calculate this well. But here we go. Here are the numbers. Basically, across the board for blasters, you're getting 22% and then 18% on your diamond grades. Hangers are bangers, better percentage there in general than all the rest. In the 20-22 range for all of it. Retail is not too bad. To me, it's not as easy to find. You don't see a bunch of retail boxes. You see maybe one at a store. You do see a sleeve of blisters, but again, I think a sleeve of blisters is only going to be about 12 to 15 of those, so it's really just the same thing. It's one retail box. So truthfully, I expect those to be a little lower. And maybe they are. Maybe my numbers are a little off. Again, I don't think we'll ever know because they're not going to give us any finite information on that. But as you can see, everything here. Now this gives us a number of cards produced overall, right? So what is that number? Shade under 164 million base and inserts. Jeez. I don't know what they produced back in the hobby, the wax. What are we calling it? The 90s, you know, the term that we always use, junk wax era. I don't know what that was. I think it was more than this because I think there were like millions of boxes produced, and those were like 15, 16 card packs, 36 packs. So we're still talking apples and oranges. We are not to junk wax era. You can still find cases of junk wax, and it's not hard. And we're talking that was 30 years ago. So let's not go there. But anyways, here we have, and if you wanted to figure out how many inserts on general you get out of hangers and then subtract that out, blasters, maybe one per pack, give or take, maybe two, so it's probably like a 1.7. Same thing with hobby. Jumbo has more. I did that in my series 1 video that I never produced, but I didn't see the fruit in it. It was a long time of watching videos and kind of giving an estimate of how many inserts are in there. But what's the point? You know, I can basically say, okay, if this is all the base and all the inserts, and yeah, we could do some estimates there. But again, I don't see the fruit in it since we're not caring about the base cards. One Eagle Cruise is nice. Joe Ryan, kind of nice. Shane Baz, maybe nice. Seth Beer, nah. We all thought he was, especially hitting a home run on National Beer Day. But we're more worried about other things. But let's look at the production over the years first before we dip into the last bit of SPs. Ooh, a little bit of a dangle there for you. So I pulled back the pack odds. I pulled up the pack odds of all the hobby boxes until 2017. 2022 to 2017. 2016 I couldn't find. But I did want to mention it as because that's when the clear set changed. It was originally 330 cards in the clear set. And then in 2016, that's when it changed, or 17 is when it changed to 100. Just kind of a tick in the history there for us. Also, we want to recognize that in 2018, there was 36 packs per box. 2019, only 24. So let's not get confused with the pack odds, because you'll see it jumps up compared 2019 and 2018. 2019 is lower than 2018. Why? Well, you just took out a third of the packs. That makes sense. You know, not as many base cards that you're going to get per box and inserts and blah, 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 and chances at other things. But let's look at the end result of the number of boxes produced, because that's going to give us a general idea across the board how many were produced. Okay, here we go. And you can see all the boxes lined up at the bottom. You might recognize most of them. 2017 is where Series 2. I recognize it now, but all right, there you go. The odds you can see for 21 and 22 didn't change a whole lot. Only 21 packs, so less than a box. Now, 2022, you can see a huge difference in 2019, and then there's the 2018 jump compared to 2019. But again, pack odds. Let's look at the packs and the boxes. Not the pack odds are going to confuse us there. And then 2017, there just wasn't a ton produced. I mean, you're looking at, you look to the far right now and look at those number of boxes. 17,000 hobby boxes produced. I think there's 12 boxes per case. Talking like 1,000 cases. It's not much, you know. Well, 1,300 cases, something along those lines. I'm just rough guessing that. That's not much when you look at 2022 and 92,000 boxes. Basically, 2021 wasn't much different, only 900 boxes difference. There's a huge jump. You can see that jump. 2018, there was a jump. 2019, not really. But 2020, the hobby was catching on. 2019 is when I started at the end, and I remember 2020 was a frenzy. Everybody wanted any baseball that they could get their hands on. That's when it was starting to get harder to find stuff at the store. In 2021 and in the middle of 2020, when the pandemic hit, it was all over with. You couldn't find it anywhere. But now that we see that the production increased, maybe Fanatics will neck it back some. I don't think they do. I think they're going to keep it about where it's at. Maybe increase prices on us. Maybe give us more quality in these boxes as well, so we're willing to pay more than a little less than $100. So, Series 2 estimation. We're not worried about all the base cards in this. We're worried about Series 2 SPs. In particular, Julio, Witt, and Torque. Okay. We're going to assume that the number of Julios and Witts and Torques are the same as Eloy Jimenez. No offense, Eloy. I didn't put your card on here because I didn't want you to take offense. Again, we looked at the pack odds. Per box configuration and found out how many packs it took us to get one SP. And then from there, we figured out how many SPs were produced. You know, because we know how many boxes were produced and how many packs were produced based on our previous calculations. So we totaled up all the SPs, and we have just a shade under 230,000 SPs. That's a lot, but there's 78 of them. I'm not really great at math. No, I am. I already kind of know the answer when I just look at this. But, so you can see right there, it's going to be just a shade under 3,000. So 2,941, and there's how everything ranks out. Kind of makes sense when you look at the numbers. Yeah, it just makes sense. So there you go. That's the numbers. Pretty much you're 500-600 across the board for all formats. Okay, well, what does that 3,000 number mean? 3,000 doesn't seem like a lot. Are you sure? How many of us poo-poo on the golds if you get a gold? Gold Tatis is pretty nice, but it's a lot different than something numbered to 50. When I think of a short print, I think of something a little more short printed than that, but it does make sense that they don't number it and they can produce a lot more of it. Because if it had a 2020 on it, I don't think it would be going for this much. Look at a Wander 2020 card, card to 2022 out of Series 1. It's going for about half of what the Julio Rodriguez short prints are. Now granted, Wander's hurt and everything, but I don't know if I'm willing to pay that. I dare say that, you know, unless Julio Rodriguez crushes it like Aaron Judge did his rookie year, in the offseason, you're going to be able to find these for a lot cheaper than you currently are. That's why I sold mine. That's the risk I took. I did get two cards that I really want. Great for my PC, and I think they're great investments. One being a Hall of Famer and a basketball player. That's never going to go down. It's only going to go up when he passes. It's going to even go up higher. Now, we got a long time before Shaquille O'Neal passes, thank goodness. He's very entertaining. And then I got one of the cards that I've been wanting is a Aaron Judge autograph, rookie. I mean, to me, I didn't make a bad investment. Yeah, I went 2 for 1. A lot of people poo-poo on that, but the hype around this card with the number produced here. Again, this is pretty solid. The only thing that we didn't know were the hangers and the retail. Those were guesstimates, but I think they were pretty good guesstimates. They might be a little conservative on the numbers too. So I don't think this number is going to be much higher than this, because we have the numbers. It just makes sense. And the pull rate, it seems about right. So anyways, let me know what you think about this video. I'll be doing some different videos like this. I'm going to start looking at the boxes and breaking down a box. Like if you buy a Bowman Mega or a Bowman Blaster box, what are your chances of getting something you want, color or an auto? Bowman Megas, it's all about the Mojo packs. But the blasters, they've always been kind of nice. And I'm going to kind of look at a few years of that. I do have 3 years in stock right now, so it kind of helps. I don't have to go anywhere to look at those. So anyways, we'll rear back here. I forgot this part of the presentation. This is always fun when you mess up, and I don't want to go back and record. This is the third time I'm recording this, so let's not go back. So you still want to pull a Julio, though. So I gave, a glimpse of what I'm going to do in the future, too. So you're going to pull a Julio, right? You want to pull it out of a pack, though. You don't want to be cheesy and buy it on the internet. Breaks might be the way to go with this, guys. So we did the odds, took the box configuration, and figured out how many SPs you get, or how many SPs you get per box, and then figured out, okay, I gotta buy this many boxes to get an SP. Kind of flipped it there. Take the box cost, and I just found some reasonable box costs that seemed kind of average, nothing super great, nothing super expensive, across various sites, and this is what I came up with. Basically, jumbo is your worst case, retail is your best, and you can see there 1.6 per. That's backwards. It's your boxes per short print card. Now this is just for one short print. Remember, there's 78 of them. So if you said, okay, I have to get all 78 before I actually pull one, we're not seeing that. We're seeing that you're getting those more often. Possibly there's an increase in number, but I have to believe that the actuaries and the statisticians that Topps has are giving us the true numbers on the SPs, and that they're all produced the same number. Otherwise, I'm not for sure why even put the pack odds on there. Also, why would they even worry about it? Yeah, they're chase cards, but they would put more in there so we chase more, and because of the success, or they put what they were going to put and let us chase it, and then they make more money because we're buying more and more of it. People are still breaking this stuff. People are still buying this. I'm still ripping a little of it. Look, I did it at the front of this video. But if it takes you 20 SPs and hobby box, if you're buying straight hobby box, it's going to cost you about $4,000 possibly to pull it if you pulled it within the first 20 SPs. That's a lot of moolah. Now, I pulled mine, and I pulled 2 SPs in one box. So it makes me kind of feel like maybe these odds are a little off. I don't know. We don't know. That's the bad part. This is just going off what Topps gives us, unfortunately. You got to go with what you see. So anyways, let me know what you think of this. Did you like this video? What else would you like to see? Put it in the comments. Hey, why don't you do this to this one or that one? Some of the ones without retail are even easier because there's not much there. You can really dig down into it. Like I said, I will be getting like pristine. I was thinking of doing that one where you break it down and what can you get out of one box? What is your chance to get something nice out of one box? And we'll have to define what nice is. Also, anything on this one? Did I have some logic fallacies? Did I mess up somewhere? You're like, hey, you didn't take this into consideration. Dude, I'm an engineer. Please be critical. I would love to really refine this method. And thank you for watching. If you made it through all 20-something minutes of this, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. This was a lot of fun to me. And I'm going to start doing a lot of these. Probably produce them as much as the sets come out. Unfortunately, the sets aren't coming out anytime soon, so we'll probably go back and do some other ones. Anyways, enjoy this very much. Thank you so much. Be kind, be nice to those around you. Hit that notification bell too, so whenever you've subscribed and liked, you'll know when I produce more of these, or even the first looks or breaks if you're interested in that. Thank you guys so much. And as always,